Hey everybody, welcome back. Boy, I'm excited. You know why? I think you know why. Because KAIWEETS is in the house. That means only one thing. KAIWEETS week has officially begun. From March 15th to March 19th, I'm going to have a extravaganza KAIWEETS style just for you. Starting things off this week is none other than the KAIWEETS KM-601 True RMS Smart Multimeter. Oh yeah. KAIWEETS shipped this bad boy in a beautiful hardcover case. Look at that with the KAIWEETS logo. Oh, it doesn't get any sweeter than that. In that case, we have a thermocouple because yes, the KM-601 does measure temperature. Beautiful in both Celsius and Fahrenheit. We get some test leads, and these are a step up from the average that we normally see. These are good quality test leads. I'll look at those in just a minute. By the way, that case is really nice as well. Hard outer shell, and we have that nice elastic enclosure here to keep the meter nice and snug when you're on the rug. On the rug when you're on the go, or on the rug, who the heck knows. And look at that, we even have some netting, mesh netting here to keep all of your little accoutrements nice and tidy. And finally, we get manual. It's a pretty big one actually. It's in quite a few different languages, but nice big type font and overall a step up from the usual manuals that we see in this genre. And just so you know, I'm going to be giving away a couple of KAIWEETS multimeters at the end of the week, including the HT208D, the clamp, the big clamp from KAIWEETS. Oh yes, all you have to do to win is simple. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Leave a comment about anything KAIWEETS related, and you are automatically entered to win. Heck, you could just say, I love KAIWEETS, and you're entered to win. It's that simple. And look at that test lead. Wow, that is one sweet test lead. We have a really nice finger guard over here, and we have a 600 volt Cat 4 rating or a 1000 volt Cat 3 if you lose the shroud on the top. Really pointy as well. And the thing I like about this is if you have bigger hands, you have a lot of room to work with, almost like writing with a pen. I mean, in effect, these are kind of pens. So, in fact, I've seen them referred to as test pens. So the better grip, the better feel, the more comfortable it is to work with, the longer you're going to use it. Awesome. Now that shroud as well on the end, nice and long. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's going to fit in the meter, no problemo. Now, as you notice, the input jacks are at the bottom of the meter, but wow, we're getting four inputs on this smart meter. You don't see that every day. Ooh, loving it. And bada boom, bada bing, in there, nice heavy for a smart multimeter. Probably the heaviest smart meter I've ever held. It is got a lot of oomph to it. Which does come off, so it's not part of the membrane. It's actually removable, so you can clean it out if it gets dusty or dirty, or maybe you're using this in the garage or who knows where. But it's always nice if you can remove that boot to give it a good look. Impressions are very, very sweet. As well, we have a flashlight button here on the side, and on the very top is our power button, and that is giving us our NCV indicator as well. And when you remove that boot, there is the back of the meter. Now, obviously, you might notice something pretty quickly. Yeah, it does not have a tilt stand. Oh, KAIWEETS, why, oh, why? Smart meters need tilt stands too. So you are going to be relegated to either finding a place to prop it up, or perhaps getting some sort of a gizmo third party to, to hold it up. I really wish, I hope, in the future, we're going to see a tilt stand on these types of meters. And in the back as well, we have that CE rating. No other third-party certification. In fact, that's not even a third-party certification, as we know. Yeah. It is nice we have those fuse ratings right on the back. 600 milliamp, 250 volt, 10 amp, 250 volt. So if you do blow a fuse, which is always, more than likely, it's going to happen at some point in the life of your multimeter. At least here, you don't have to pull it apart first to find out what kind of fuse you need. Good stuff. Unfortunately, another problem with this meter is the fact that we do not have any color-coded inputs. Yes, they do have that coding on the top of the meter, but when you're actually plugging in that meter, you might be in a bit of a hurry, and it's always nice to have these coded properly. At the very least, this should be red, 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 and black for the common, but for whatever reason, they aren't color-coded. And on the top right-hand side of the meter, you see APO. Don't see that every day on a meter, do we? No, this is for the auto power off. So a lot of multimeters these days, you actually have to hold down on a certain button while you're powering up to turn the auto power function off. Why? Well, because a lot of people don't like having a meter, just shut down in the middle of being used. Here, KAIWEETS is smart. Think out of the box. What they've done is they created an APO separately. So if you are using a meter, it can already be turned on. Does not matter. Simply hit that button, depress it once, and the APO functionality is disabled, meaning your meter won't turn off. Good stuff. Wow, check out that display. It is actually a color LCD display. And check out the dial here. Beautiful. We have current highlighted in the yellow, which is sweet. And, just generally speaking, they're making very good use of the real estate for this display. I love it. So you can see this 10,000 count display is a packed with features. I mean, whoa! We're getting that color screen. We're getting those lighted, illuminated inputs. Honestly, so far for a smart meter, this one has really taken the cake. But, I mean, how does it perform? Is it any good? Well, let's find out. Because of the nature of the design, when you input those jacks into the inputs, you know what? It is going to be problematic. So even if they do decide to put a tilt stand on here, they would have to end up changing the placement of those test leads. DC voltage precision time. We're sitting here at 10 volts, according to the brand new precision reference voltage standard. Hey, by the way, I'm going to be reviewing this shortly as well. Fantastic hardware coming out from Fred Chu. Stay tuned for that. Okay, so we should be looking at 10.00 volts, and we're sitting here at 9.98 volts. Not bad. Definitely within spec, and hey, looking good. Sitting now at 5.002 volts. Excellent. 5.000 is what we want. Good job. Now, unfortunately, due to the nature of the screen, it is susceptible to a ton of glare. Oh yeah, glare everywhere. So sometimes it's hit and miss when you're trying to get a visual. Too bad, but yeah, it's just the way it is. So depending on your angle, you might lose some of that gorgeous display. Let's check out that digital range selector starting at volts AC/DC. Resistance. Continuity. Diode. Capacitance. Millivolts AC/DC. Frequency up to 10 megahertz. Temperature in both Celsius and Fahrenheit. Non-contact voltage and live detect. Milliamps AC/DC. Finally, high current amps AC/DC. Range selection. You do have that nice visual indicator here on the inputs. Very nice. Finally, we have our 5 select buttons, starting off with the range feature. Underneath that, we have a rel or hold. The auto function, which turns the smart meter into a manual ranging meter. Have our select, and finally the max min. Alrighty, we're now in resistance mode, and 9.999 of an ohm, sitting at 1 mega ohm right now. Let's see how fast it is to range. 3 mega ohm, hey, looking good. 6 mega ohm, not too shabby. 10 mega ohm, all right. 10.1 mega ohm, and a precision resistor, 100.8 ohm. Wow, can ask for better than that. So when you're sitting in high current mode, you actually have a nice chirp just to let you know, indeed, you are in high current. Listen up. There you go. So nice little feature to have. Okay, we're in high current amps right now. You can see sitting at just under 1 amp, 890 milliamps. I have that input into the high current amps. You can see that gorgeous display showing us indeed we are in high current amps. Okay, let's take it up, shall we? And sitting at 1.90 amps, coming up as 1.88 on the 601, up and away. And we can see as well, we have a really nice bar graph here on the 601. So we are high current right now. And look at that nice yellow bar graph just over that 6 threshold, taking it up and away. And 10 amps, and we have that high current alarm kicking in. Awesome. Bring it down. So as soon as we hit that 10 amp threshold, boom, we have the high current alarm and we lose that display. Really nice bar graph here. And I can't say enough about this display once again. Besides the high contrast issue, it really is gorgeous to look at. As you can see, when you're in current mode, you have that nice red LED indicator at the top, just letting you know you're kind of in the danger zone. So when you turn the meter on initially, you are going into smart mode. Now, auto, as you can see, smart, same idea. Smart indicator over here at the top left. Now, when you switch into manual mode, you just simply hit that red button. And bada bing, bada bang, you are now in manual mode. You can cycle through all of the ranges to your heart's content and settle on a range you want. Once again, we can see that manual indicator now here at the top of the display. Very cool. Alrighty, Aphrodite, you know what time it is? It is continuity time. Yes, loving it. Here we have the stock default test probes. How will they perform? Well, let's find out. 3, 2, 1. Now we are in manual mode. We do have that nice visual LED indicator at the top, but it is incredibly slow. Oh, that's too bad, too bad. Let's try the Pro Masters. Alrighty, KAIWEETS, we got the Pro Masters. 3, 2, 1. Nah, it doesn't really make much difference. It is a tad quicker. But still, yeah, it's still a little bit on the slow side. Oh, that's too bad. .1 decibels, maximum output volume and continuity. Well, it's fairly loud at least. Diode LED mode is next. Here we go, starting off with a standard diode. This should be interesting. Oh, awesome, we have that audible beep. Beauty. Here we go on to standard LEDs. Forward voltage drop. Forward voltage drop. Forward voltage drop and illumination. Oh yes, are we going to be 5 for 5? Yes, we are. All lit. All have a forward voltage drop indication. Wow, KM-601, you hit it out of the ballpark. Excellent output voltage in diode mode. Look at that, almost 4 volts. Get it right there. Simply hit the APO button, and voila, your meter won't shut off. Oh, so simple. Uber quick look at that max min mode. Just hit the max min, brings you into max min mode. From there, you can have whatever voltages you want coming up, and you are going to get an indicator of what was the highest and what was the lowest voltage reading. Simple as that. Hit a button again. Minimum was 4.7 volts. Maximum was 8.2. There you go. Nice, useful feature. Great if you're checking like a car battery. If you want to see if that battery is maybe on its way out, put it on max min, and bada boom, bada bing, you are in business. Let's take a quick look at that max min function. To get into it, hit the max min button. Now we are in max min mode. You can see we have our max indicator here at the top. Now we're up to, let's just say 22 volts. Coming up as 21.95. Now we can hit the min button, and there we go. Our lowest voltage was 16.5 volts. Maximum was 21.9. So this can come in really handy. Even something really basic like checking to see if your car battery is on the way out. Hook it up to your battery, give it a crank, and you can see right away if you have a voltage drop that is serious. And if it is, it's time to change that battery. Here we go. Standard household cord. So it's definitely picking it up. And you can see when the color changes as well, like right now where it's a solid red and the beep is quicker, just telling us that we are very close to a voltage source. Power standard light switch, and oh, that's not good. It's not picking up anything. Nothing in the wall. Nada. Oh, fail. All right, let's go to the mains. Okay, here we are now at the mains panel. Now it better pick something up here. Here we go. Oh yeah, and we've got that H telling us it is high, and oh my god, I just turned it off with the power button. Okay, so there you go. Interesting. So that power button can get in the way of your NCV. You want to make sure where you're probing. But yeah, no worries here. In high, and it is definitely picking up that high energy source from the mains. Powered by 3 AAA batteries and easy access via 1 Phillips screw. And look at that, a nice threaded insert as well. Alrighty, it is teardown time, and here we go, exposed for all of your KAIWEETS goodness here. Unfortunately, on the other side of the cover, there was no shielding. Hey, no surprise, but just saying it as it is. Okay, let's start off with those input jacks. They are soldered quite nicely, actually. Big blobs of solder going on here. Looking good. We have 2 fuses, 6x30mm fuses. We have the 600 milliamp, and we have a high current 10 amp. Both are 250 volt, and both are really easy to find if you need to replace. And if you look a little bit closer, you might notice something that's missing, a high current shunt, not to be found on the meter. Instead, they've substituted it with this R005. This is a 0.005 ohm current sensing resistor. So that is going to replace that current shunt. Basically, these are high-powered, low-resistance chip resistors, and they're designed to dissipate heat quite effectively. And I mean, for basic use, it's not bad. Personally, I always prefer to see a current shunt, but because of the design and everything else going on here, I can see why they chose. In the middle of the unit, we have our relay, and you do hear this clickety-click going on when you're changing ranges, whether in manual or smart mode. The relay here is getting use all the time. Moving up the line over here, let's start off with this chip. This is from Shenzhen Titan Micro. It's a 52 segment LCD display driver, so that is what is giving us that gorgeous LCD display. And directly below the LCD display driver, we have this little doohickey. That is a not a doohickey, it's a microchip from SD7502. This is an 8-channel multimeter auto-ranging SOC system on a chip. 24-bit high-precision ADC going on right there. And over here, just on top of that, or to the right of that, depending on how you're looking at it, this is an SD8107 CMOS, another SoC, 8 kilobytes of OTP memory. At the very top of the board, we have our NCV detection. Now look at that. That's pretty pathetic, isn't it? It's just a tiny little filament here. Really, in terms of NCV, it's not going to be that accurate or that sensitive at all. So, well, you know, I would have liked to have seen a larger filament or a different design. I mean, if you're going to have it at the top, why not extend this filament at least another inch or so? Anyway, it is what it is. Below that over here, we have the one-touch power button. Yeah. Generally speaking, though, I mean, look at it. That is a pretty clean, pretty sweet-looking PCB here. Very, very nice. No flux, no crap, no, you know, weirdness going on, per se. I did neglect that one little PTC at the bottom over here. So that is on the voltage side as well. One PTC. I don't see any MOVs whatsoever. Opposite side of the PCB, not much else going on. We don't have anything hiding here. No big MOV or anything like that. But there are those inputs again from the other side. Fairly well soldered, but you know, a couple are lacking a little bit here per se. Here is where the LCD display attaches to it. Connects via a positive and a negative. I accidentally took off one of the wires, but that's okay. I'll put it back. Yeah, and of course the display as well over here. It's got 2 zebra strips with those elastomers connect over on both sides of that PCB. So generally speaking, pretty sweet, I gotta say. I'm just not impressed with that NCV. Oh, could have done a better job there, but overall, not too shabby. Okay, gonna put everything back together, come back with my closing thoughts. Well, if you haven't already figured it out, I love this multimeter. Wow, this was a high performer and a smart meter to boot with manual override. Unbelievable. Okay, it wasn't all bells and whistles in smart multimeter land. I admit it did have a really crappy NCV. The screen too, subject to a lot of glare, so that might be problematic, especially if you're gonna use this outdoors a lot. And don't get me started on that tilt stand, or should I say the lack of one. Hey, what's up with that? But man, oh man, was this one excellent all-around performer. Beautiful EBTN display, and the build quality was amazing. Hey, this is a high-performing smart meter with a manual override, and you know what? It's not going to break the bank. You know what? KAIWEETS, you did an amazing job on the KM-601. The KM-601 gets a solid 4 out of 5 stars. Hey, I think this is one of the best, if not the best, smart multimeter on the market today. Hope you enjoyed this KAIWEETS extravaganza. We got lots more coming this week. Enjoy. Till the next one, keep on testing.